Now we come to our next speaker, Mr. Prashant Kumar Mishra. It was in the month of August in 1987 when, as a working railwayman, I was posted at the locomotive workshop of the Eastern Railway in Jamalpur, India. At that time, this workshop was the largest repair workshop in the country. Prashant Mishra, the next speaker, was then a trainee officer at the Indian Railways Institute of Mechanical and Electrical Engineering, which is also located at Jamalpur. It was there that I first met Prashant, who was then in the final year of a 4-year program. He passed out in early 1988, and I did not meet him again till November 2019, more than 30 years later, when, as the divisional railway manager of the Asansol division of the Indian Railways, Prashant invited me to visit Asansol, where he had organized a heritage walk to showcase a large number of buildings that he had renovated and restored. This was an enormous contribution, as most of these buildings were in very bad shape, derelict, and may have been demolished. Not only did he give them a lease of life, but also had them recognized as heritage structures. Bulk of these buildings were more than 100 years old. The Asansol division had come into being when the first train ran from Howrah, which is near Calcutta, to Raniganj. It came into being very soon after that, in the middle of the 19th century. Apart from such renovation work that he continued at other locations as well, he has an ability to research old papers and documents and put down his findings on paper. He is thus a renovator and a historian, a trait not common amongst working railwaymen in India. Prashant Mishra is today the Additional General Manager of the Southwestern Railway Zone of the Indian Railways. He will tell you of the 3 rail museums that exist on the zone and how they are contributing to heritage preservation. Prashant had a big hand to play in setting up 2 of these museums and the upkeep of the 3rd. Now, over to you, Prashant.
Good morning, everyone. I will speak on SWR experience on museums. We will cover primarily Hubli Museum. We have 3 museums with us: Hubli Museum, Mysore Museum, and Adishali Museum. As you can see the picture, this is the headquarters of Southern Maratha Railway. This beautiful building, which is at Dharwad, was constructed in 1880s, and it remained with railways for 1907 till Southern Maratha Railway merged with Madras Railway, and headquarters got shifted to Chennai, Madras. And now this building is used as a college under Dharwad University. But unfortunately, most of the people in this area do not know the connection of this beautiful building, this beautiful railway, and the present railways. The ideation of creation of a museum came from our recent general manager, Kumar, and he made a team of the passionate officers who went beyond their call of duty to create a greenfield museum here, and the job of renovation of museum at Mysore was entrusted to Madam Aparna Jain, who was DRM there, of renovating it. We wanted to showcase the rich history of railways in Karnataka, and as you all are aware, the museums have a soft power. They are the landmark of the city, and we wanted to create a unique museum, a museum which was just not a museum of silence, where people would not only see and observe, but they will participate, interact, and do activity. So we have created a hands-on section, both for exhibits. Life-size models were placed in the workplace, where people can see how things were done. And we had planned to offer, and we are regularly offering programs for all age groups, children, volunteers, enthusiasts. They come and participate in various activities. These were the challenges, as I have discussed. Challenge was to create a vibrant and engaging museum, how to adapt structures to house the artifact, how to relocate big models there in a small place, and how to meet the global standards. And we wanted to create a museum which was not exactly for profit, but for our social obligation. And this, as you can see in the center, This was a motif designed for Railway Museum Hubli, which houses our cottage and one locomotive. And this is the welcome arch provided there. Primarily, this railway comes from these three railways: Madras, Mysore State Railway, Madras and Southern Maratha Railway, and SMR. We will cover how it was created, how it was inaugurated, and what are the sustainability measures taken. Basically, we wanted to showcase a history of this railway. This railway traces its history from the Mughal Farman. Way back in 17th century, Farooq Sire had given a permission to Portuguese for bringing their materials to India, especially in Surat, and trade at a 2.5% tax, custom duty only. They were called the true traders. This facility was given to Portuguese only. They enjoyed this facility for next 100 and 150 years. And when British came in India, they found that Portuguese are bringing a lot of materials, specifically alcohol and wines from Surat, bringing to Bombay and selling them without paying any tax. So it was hurting their traders and their industrialists. So one fine day, they decided to stop the privilege of Mughal Farman. That created an international ruckus. For 10 years, there was a continuous geopolitical discussion between Portuguese government and British government. And finally, a Treaty of Lisbon was signed in 1878. Both governments had two different agendas. Portuguese government wanted to make Goa the prize jewel of India once again. It had become a pale shadow of earlier. And Britishers wanted to contain the influence of Portuguese, and they wanted to give them some benefit. So after a lot of protective negotiation, a Treaty of Lisbon was signed, where it was decided to construct a rail line and a harbor at Goa, and the rail line will come up to the British frontiers. Very few railways can boast of such a lineage, that they are basically intermodal mode of transfer. The railway was connected with port, and port was also constructed by the same railway company. It is also a story of a Stafford Committee. A Stafford Committee was a privileged British aristocrats who were having backdoor negotiation with all the foreign powers. They were also doing charity and lot of profit ventures. And this story is also of cotton trade in India. After 25 years of continuous innovation and experiment, it was found that one particular variety of cotton fiber, which was finally developed in southern India, could beat any cotton of the continent. And this cotton could not go to Manchester unless there is a rail link to Bombay. There is another dimension to this railway. From 1870s to 1880s, there was a series of famine in southern India. There were large scale of death, and the Oldham, who was geographical superintendent of India, he said that when he came to visit this part of the country, he found that entire road was strewn with the corpses and people were dying on the street. So that was the amount of tragedy. Richard Temple, who was Lieutenant Governor of Bengal and Lieutenant Governor designate Bombay, he was sent to this part of the country to do first-hand survey and suggest measures. On his report, a food for work program was suggested. This food for work program started with making of roads, making of canals, and making of railways. Please understand that in that time, there was no railway company in this part of the country, but they decided to make railway embankment. So you are finding that in this Southwestern Railway, very sharp curves, steep gradients, because those were made by PW engineers, and it was a time of famine where they didn't have a time to decide proper alignment and proper curve. And railway work was started before the construction of railway company. So this is one of the very illustrious railway which has such illustrious backings. And when this railway was constructed, in first year itself, its operating ratio was only 108%. That was the first year and only year when its operating ratio was beyond 100%. Operating ratio is basically ratio between your expenses and income. Next year onward, this railway earned 83% operating ratio, and till 25 years, it remained between 56% to 75%. That was the healthy financial performance. In first 5 years, it was able to construct 1,300 miles of railway. This construction of 1,300 railroad miles, I think it has not been beaten. The record has not been beaten even now. When 1881-82, when these railway companies came into existence, the greatest banker of the world, Rothschild, they underwrote the share issue. That was the amount of confidence. It was said, if India is able to develop, if there is a hope for economic prosperity of India, then it is the well thought of railways like Southern Maratha Railway who will make this possible. So that was the legacy. It was a legacy that labor conquers all. They call it work conquers all, labor omnia vincit. So that was the philosophy of this railway. And there were two great railwaymen who were involved in it. One was Douglas Forsyth. He was a gentleman who single-handedly changed the first war of independence in 1857. It was his persuasion to Punjab Prince that they sided with British. Otherwise, the history of the country would have been different. So that gentleman became the CEO of the railway, Southern Maratha Railway. And second gentleman was Colonel Lindsay, who was a Bengal Engineer Corps of officer who had extensive experience in both Afghanistan as well as in Mysore. He was the first chief engineer. So this is the legacy of this railway. This we wanted to bring to our people. And for this, nothing was more appropriate than Hubli. And we were fortunate to get a team of dedicated, passionate officers encompassing all the age groups of different hierarchy, different departments who came forward and worked continuously beyond the call of duty. And this was the place. You are looking at the picture. This is the basically old officers' colony of Hubli workshop. It was going to be demolished. General manager was on the visit that day, and he said, if anything can be done, we said, sir, yes, we can give a try and make it a museum. So from that day, 22 November 19, the story started. This was another cottage. And this is the picture during the construction. Different models were brought. We had not disturbed anything. All the tiles, stone tiles, all the older wooden structures, nothing was disturbed. It was kept as it is. Only we renovated, touched, made it leakage proof, and kept in the pristine original condition, and converted those two cottages for housing the artifacts. Next. These are the two houses. They were named Ghat Prabha and Mal Prabha after the nearby rivers. They were constructed in 1907. This was a ticket counter we constructed, and these were the tickets printed for the. And this was the shifting of the models, how models were brought and how they were kept. Now this is another remarkable thing. When we wanted to construct one platform here, we tried to use the original structure. In a lot of the stations of present SWR, renovation, modification, construction, doubling, all activities are going on. The old structures were basically demolished, thrown and discarded. But we decided to collect all those structures, bring them here and recreate the ambience. So you can see the status when it was being constructed. And in the next photograph, you can see how it came after it was finally assembled and constructed. To recreate the railway scene on the wall around the museum, we created various memories of railways so people can identify it. And one old building was there that was converted into bathroom, and that was also became a place for putting our various pictures and sceneries. Our museum is not complete without a toy train. So we decided to construct a toy train, and Hubli workshop, with their available resources in-house, they constructed this electrical battery-driven toy train, which could carry 10 to 12 number of people around the museum. These were the narrow gauge exhibit locomotives were brought from different places from the country and displayed there. This is the rough map of the museum. As you can see, there are the two cottages which are for displaying the indoor exhibits. Right side, there is a toy train track, and at other location, we have various rolling stock exhibit. At the beginning, there is also one restaurant where people can partake some refreshment. The highlights are rolling stock, our cottages, toy train, and old original ticket printing machine was brought, children activity room. We had especially converted 2 coaches for immersive experience. We converted one coach into a theater coach and another coach into premium cafeteria coach. These are some of the rolling stock exhibits, tank wagons, narrow gauge tank wagons. These are the narrow gauge box wagon, BKC wagon. These are the locomotives DM3, the Varani narrow gauge section of 700 horsepower, constructed by CLW. Some of we have been able to get from various NG railways. Next. JTM5 locomotive also of the same vintage. These are the coaches. This we wanted to create the ambience of a waiting room. So we had sent various teams at all the stations at different locations. Around 10 teams were sent to forage, collect materials, railway materials from different places. And we were able to get old material, old furniture, benches, chairs, sofa. These were brought, and Hubli workshop team rose to the challenge. And these broken, damaged furniture, they painstakingly assembled it, recreated, and finally they were exhibited in the room. Here you can see the pictures on the wall. This is basically paperboard series. We requested paperboard. Paperboard is famous for giving the ads, connecting with railway. Basically all those ads have one theme to bring back nostalgia of railway travel. How you used to travel during childhood, what were the memories of steam travel. So we requested them and they gave us the series of all the advertisement and we had displayed them here. This is a luggage and parcel office to create a look. These are the indoor exhibits, some of the indoor exhibits in one of the section. This is the original ticket printing machine. This machine was brought from Lilua workshop. It was in a different condition. This machine was also rehabilitated by Hubli workshop and it had started working. And we encourage all the visitors that they can do self-printing. They can take print also. So it is an interactive, immersive experience for them. These were the specially commissioned charcoal art galleries. One of our staff, who is an artist from Mysore, he was requested to recreate the ambience of that bygone era. We had given him original pictures of that period, some of the stations he had visited, and he recreated those things in his own charcoal sketch. And we had made a special gallery for him where you can see how Southern Maratha Railway, West of India Portuguese Railway, Mysore Railway looked like in those days. This is in continuation of that. Next. This is some of the pictures painted by our officers, by Mr. Malia, who is General Manager ICF. He had painted and we had displayed it here. These are some of the heritage logo of Indian various logos. In the left side, you can see this is the older account office, how account office used to look in olden days. So we have created one table where old typewriter, old calculator, old business machines, old formats, registers, they have been displayed. Old telephones, you can see old chairs and the original tables we had brought and displayed it here. Similarly, kindly go back. In the right upper side, you can see what coolies used to wear, that armband. This is the original armband we have collected and displayed. This is the leveling equipment used in old age. Next. And this is the area for our outdoor exhibit. where the levers, arms, linkage for signaling, when mechanical signaling was there. Here, various type of rails used in our railway. This we have displayed here. This was the original hand push trolley was there. It has been brought and kept here. Next. These are some of the engineering exhibits for civil engineering, what we used to use earlier. And in the left side photograph, you can see the plaque of Krishna River, when the original river was bridged first time in the history. Then this was the plaque. When new girder was launched, we brought back the plaque and displayed it here. And the right side, you can see the safes where money was kept. These are the various pins, bolts used in our engineering section. This we have displayed. As you can see, we have made a proper casing so that people can appreciate it and there is no chance of any damage or next. And this is the platform. We had recreated one platform with coach. In left side, it is a theater coach, and right side, it is a pantry coach, cafeteria coach. Old original clock has been also displayed, and this is what the station looked like in those days. This is a restaurant car, and these are the benches you see. These are the original benches of MSMR. They were lying at different stations. We had collected them and displayed it here. This is the lounge area of the restaurant car. Next. And this is the interior of the restaurant car. This is also the bathroom area of the restaurant car. This is a theater coach. Next. This in theater coach, people can come and enjoy railway related movies, films, short films are shown there. And this is the sitting arrangement inside. This is a wheel park where different type of wheels used in our rolling stock since inception have been displayed. These are the mechanical lever, old signaling arrangement we have displayed in outside. As I said, our exhibits, they are basically for children and others to enjoy. They should come, visit, see, learn. That was the idea. So we had not restricted entry. Rather, we facilitate them, we bring them inside, explain to them, and we use this opportunity to give a social message, like what is the unity and diversity in the country. During the time of COVID, we had explained the use of masks. All our models wore masks, and it had a great impact on the visitor, and they appreciated it. Next. These are some of the night view of the Hubli Museum. You can see how breathtaking and beautiful and enchanting it looks like in the night. These are some of the views, the locomotives. While designing the illumination, we had kept one thing in mind, that all illumination designing was done in-house, number one. Number two, it was done to enchant, not to create a garish experience or jarring to eye. It should look like soothing, where people can come and have a look for tranquility and serenity. This is the cafeteria. The cafeteria portion is on the rear side of the picture. This cafeteria was also made by using released columns and structures of different stations. We brought it here, recreated the cafeteria, and the outside portion has not only tables and chairs, but also we have used tree trunks which were lying in different colony. We have brought them and used them as a table, also as sitting arrangement. Finally, this it became ready on August 20. So this museum was inaugurated by not less than 3 cabinet ministers: Honorable Minister of Railway, Honorable Minister of Power, and Honorable Minister MSR. All of them inaugurated it. MR was online, and rest of them, they came here and physically inspected and inaugurated it. These are some of the pictures of that time. And Mr. Prahlad Joshi, we had explained to him the working. He was accompanied by the cabinet minister of Karnataka government. Next. This is another picture of MOSR. So as I was saying, basically Southwestern Railway has three important museums: Mysuru Rail Museum, Hubli Rail Museum, and Malgudi Museum. And now the culture of museum has created a revolution amongst all the railwaymen. Whenever new railway stations are being constructed, renovated, everyone is going in a big way for creating a heritage gallery. If anything is discovered anywhere, people immediately phone our heritage committee members that we have discovered this. They proudly bring it, whether it is a brick, whether it is a tile, whether it is a manufacturing plate, logo, anything they discover, they bring it and house it properly. So that passion, that dedication, we have been able to foster, that the sense of ownership has come amongst railwaymen by creating this greenfield project. We have also created, as I said, a dedicated team. The maintenance has been entrusted to the shop, CWM Hubli and his team of officers. They painstakingly take care of maintenance, and they also maintain the entire museum artifacts. Standard operating procedure has been issued, and we have ensured community participation. No museum is complete unless there is a participation from various stakeholders. Museum cannot be something static. So we have invited school children, we have invited media, we have invited rail enthusiasts, we have invited colleges, so that everyone can come participate in it. I will share some of the example and my experiences on this area. We have also started that museum should not remain as it is, but we should continuously add new items. We should associate with various social causes and important days like a World Heritage Day, Museum Day, all those things we celebrate. Children Day, where we gladly invite them and and explain to them the working of museum, the importance of heritage, the beginning of the railways. So they developed the passion and love for railway and railway heritage. One drive was launched by Southwestern Railway, that Know Your Railway Heritage, where every day one quiz was shared on railway media. Thousands of people participated in it. And it was an interactive, interesting, fun-driven project with a lot of participation. People come here on an educative tour. The children come here, railwaymen, enthusiasts, others, they explain about it. Next. This is a similar thing has been planned in a Mysuru Rail Museum. You can see children immersed in railway museum. Sports and games and fun. We have made the railway museum a location, a venue where people can come and celebrate their birthday. They can enjoy Heritage Day celebration. You can see here. And these are some of the supports from media. We have received the coverage. It is continuing. This was the team who made it possible. You can see it is a huge list, long list, but the work could not have been successful, completed without the active participation of them. And the best part is it is not a one-time venture, but the passion, the enthusiasm is extremely infectious. Now they are trying to expand it further. And the culture of railway heritage, railway museum, railway art gallery, this has gone in a big way all over the Southwestern Railway. So this was about a Hubli Railway Museum. I will share some of the things about Mysuru Rail Museum. This has been covered last time, but still I will show you some slides of the Mysuru Rail Museum. This rail museum was set up in 1979, 2 years after NRM. It was the country's first regional rail museum. Lot of the rolling stock you can see here, and work was undertaken in 1920. Next. These were the challenges which was admiringly handled by our team in Mysuru. This is the front view of the Mysuru Rail Museum. This was the day museum was inaugurated by the oldest employee of the museum. A special commemorative postal cover was also issued on the occasion. These are some of the photographs of the insides of the Railway Museum, Mysuru. Cafe. Next. This is an area where it is an interactive on the visitors where they can see the history, heritage of railway. These are the exhibits. The playground area for the children. This is the old cottage. It was renovated. This is the most prized display of the Mysore, Maharani Saloon. It was built in 1899. These are the interior views and exterior views. Next. This is the heating arrangement inside the bathroom, kitchen. This is the toy train of the museum. A long circular track has been made, complete with all the facilities. These exhibits were painstakingly renovated by the team of Mysore division as well as the Mysore workshop. This is a coach cafeteria also has been provided there. You can see the huge track expense where model train runs. And this is the common man who can come and enjoy there. Next. This is one of the oldest steam museum. This is another steam museum, E506, was supplied by Care Stewart and Company. This is also another Northwestern Railway tank locomotive. All these locomotives, they were in dilapidated condition. They were renovated by Mysuru team and brought to this condition. This is the narrow gauge inspection car. It has a white livery. This is the 1925 Austin car, one of the earlier railroad vehicles. This is the rail bus which has been renovated and displayed there. This is the 12.5 ton capacity steam crane used for accident restoration. These are some of the night photographs of Mysore Rail Museum. These are the eco-friendly features of the Mysuru Museum. Natural light have been used by providing skylight. Large windows have been there. Water harvesting, green cover. And the last museum has come to at Arshalu. This is basically a tribute to Malgudi days. This was the station. It looked like in those days. This is the period. This is the picture when it was being reconstructed and renovated. This was the original old structure. And this is after renovation and rehabilitation. Malgudi Museum has taken a shape. These are the display charts, here list. These were different scenes from the Malgudi mythical lores. a pictorial representation. The picture gallery. These are some of the antique artifacts. These were the sustainability measures, that how we can continue the growth of this museum, how we can make it sustainable, how we can ensure partnership, and how it can be made profitable. These were some of the areas where we are working and continuously trying to evaluate and improve on it. This is the combo ticket, so that Mysore Museum has become a part of the Mysore tourist circuit. It is a combo ticket. So anyone who comes to Mysore Museum is must visit area. Same thing we have done for Hubli also. These are the future plans. Now I will come to basically these were the old stations, which we are now developing by using help of Intact. By taking the professional help of Intact, these 4 station buildings, you can see in the left side at what dilapidated condition they were. We have been able to bring the experts, and first time in Indian Railways, 4 such stations, they have been identified. 3 of them have been already developed by professionals without any cost to railways. So that will become a future development model, which has been pioneered in Southwestern Railway. You can see the picture earlier and now. So this was basically about our 3 museums, but the most important thing which I would like to share is not only the construction and the renovation of a museum, but the creation of a team, the rekindling of interest, creation of a passion, and discovery of the history of railway, that we were able to do it. And that discovery of prize railway legacy of Southwestern Railway, which encompassed Southern Maratha Railway, MSMR, West of India Portuguese Railway. All of these were discovered and brought forward, because new generation has almost forgotten what was Southern Maratha Railway, what was constructed in that period, what was MSMR Railway, what was West of India Portuguese Railway. West of India Portuguese Railway was the first foreign railway in the country. The word we use, foreign railway, it is actually, it starts from there. And the great engineers who had worked, who had made it possible, who created so many technological and other innovative strategy to run this railway, we were able to find out and explain to new generation. Recently, I had given a lecture to professors of history of Karnataka, different college of Karnataka. I requested them that the proud legacy and history of Karnataka is intertwined with railway. It is the history of railway that brought growth and lot of different development in area. If you are able to jointly discover, jointly research various facets of railway history and its ramification on Karnataka, that will be very good. And luckily, we were able to get a lot of volunteers who are interested in doing research on railway history, railway heritage. So that is our takeaway of the entire mission, that the interest, the passion, that remains unabated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prashant Mishra. That was a very enlightening talk on what can be done if you really get down to it. In fact, one of the questions that is very often raised and has been raised again is that in our country, all the rail museums are run by the railways themselves. Since the railways is a part of the government of India, it has to follow some bureaucratic rules, it has to follow some bureaucracy, it has to follow certain means and procedures. How did you overcome them when you set up the Hubli Museum? And for that matter, when you were doing the renovation work in Assansol, when you were the divisional railway manager there, how did you overcome these bureaucratic hurdles?
Sir, as you rightly said, if we go exactly by bureaucratic rule, the things will not be done. Like a Mysore Rail Museum renovation, the project was sanctioned in 2008 and 9, and it took 11 years for work to start. So it requires passion, dedication, and a team leader who is able to create a team and motivate his people. So wherever there are such team leaders who are able to enthuse, enthrall, and guide their people, sir, things happen. In case of Asansol, I remember I had visited Vienna Opera, sir, and those beautiful building, beautiful sound, beautiful light. Then it reminded me my Duran Institute. And the Duran Institute at that time was basically a marriage hall. It had become a pale shadow of its earlier glory. So when I came back on June 1st, I told our officers that this is what I have seen. Can we recreate it here? They said, sir, yes, it is possible. And in 2-3 months, sir, from June to August, we were able to recreate Duran Institute. And on 14th August night, when we were trying to give it a finishing touch, one gentleman, he had brought his daughter to show the Duran Institute, and he was explaining him to in Bengali that there is no need for you to visit France. Paris has come here. I told same thing to my IW sir, who was working 24 hours every day. He started crying. So if you are able to bring that tear in eyes of your staff and officers, sir, then everything is possible. And I will tell you, sir, that now Duran Institute has become so successful that we are able to generate 6 to 7 million rupees per year without any government support. It has become a self-sustainable heritage model. So it is possible to do that kind of thing if you are able to bring a team which goes beyond call of duty, which believes in themselves, which are truly wedded to the cause and passionate about it. Luckily in Hubli, sir, work we started in 2019 under the guidance of Division General Manager. We were able to get a team from different backgrounds. PFA madam was there, DGM madam was there, Hubli workshop team was there, DRM Hubli team was there, engineering staff was there, electrical staff was there. A lot of retired people were there, sir. Media people were there. They all came forward. They gave idea. We were doing brainstorming every day, and each idea was discussed. And finally, acceptable idea was taken. So in just less than a year, we were able to complete first greenfield project museum here, sir. But the challenge was to keep it alive, to keep it working. So background support was important. This background support was given every boy, Hubli workshop team, sir. And I have with me the team who made it possible, sir. CWM Hubli is also with me. Ajay is also with me. DGM Mr. Pandey is also available with me, and they are so brimming with passion, idea, that I am sure that our museums in SWR is in safe hands, sir, and they will continue to take it to new height and glorious heights. Sir.
You raised a very good point. How do you sustain? Yes, as long as you are the leader, as long as you have any good leader, the project will continue. It will keep doing well. But then very often I've seen it happening in the railways that after the person who, let's say, sustained something, retires or leaves that post, the system tends to fail. What would you suggest that we have a system which can be so created that it continues irrespective of who's in the chair?
Exactly, sir. It should not become one man show, sir. It has to be supported by the passionate interdepartmental cross teams, sir. And also we have to take support of people from railway enthusiasts and people from outside railway, sir, who can bring us fresh idea, who can keep us on touch, and people from different background and different hierarchy in railways. They have to be brought in under some heritage committee. So we have created that heritage committee here, sir. They meet every month and they themselves pioneer it. So it is not a top-driven approach. It is approach committee that will keep it ticking and alive.
One point raised by Mr. T. Raghunandan is that in most museums in India, we tend to paint locomotives and other artifacts in garish colors, in artificial colors, and not the original colors. How can we stop that? How can we prevent that?
He's absolutely right, because in most of the cases, when we make museum, we were working under a timeline. We don't work with the eye of a professional. But the point, it is very, very valid point. First, we will try to get the original blueprint. We will keep it there and try to be as true to the original as possible. Like what we had done in Jamalpur, sir, when we had started making first models in Indian Railway, large scale model, those we had found out from our drawing office that we had original painting scheme of EIR. Those painting schemes were available. Those painting schemes were given to paint shop and they painted it. But in other places, it is just the painter's whim. But as Mr. Raghunandan has said, we will create a database of our locomotive along with their painting scheme, and we will try to be closer to it, and we will take their help so that it is not something totally off the mark.
In fact, we have people like Mr. Raghunandan who are extremely good at keeping old records of what the original color scheme was and so on and so forth. I think the railway should take help of such people to know what the originals were and sort of have the originals only.
And best part is that the best part is he's based in Bangalore, so it is easier for us to take his help, sir.
Yeah. One question I have is, you were able to restore 2 clocks at Dharwad, at the university and at the college, whose picture you had shown. These clocks were renovated and repaired by railway staff. Any means, suppose railway staff was not available, suppose you were to attract volunteers to do this job. Is it possible?
Sir, when I visited that college, sir, for writing about my books, then the principal of KCD, he showed me about the clock. He said, this clock is not working for last 25 years. And in Asansol and Jamalpur, we were able to recreate a lot of old clocks, sir, and make them alive. But here, when I talked to our Hubli team, sir, they also had a very expert clock making section, but most of them had retired. So CWM Hubli, he was able to contact retired supervisors, sir, retired staff. They came, they trained few of our serving staff, sir, and we were able to recreate a team of clockmakers. So now that clockmaker team is there, and without purchasing anything from outside, sir, everything was made in-house by the workshop team as per original specification drawing, and we created KCD college clock, sir. This was the original railway clock of Southern Maratha Railway. And when regarding another clock, sir, when University Chancellor of Dharwad, he came to know that we have been able to make it alive, this clock. So he requested me to repair another clock, sir. So another clock was also repaired by our same core group, sir. So now we have a core group which can repair any clock which is not working, sir.
One more question which has been asked by Shaurya Basu. The 2 narrow gauge locomotives that you are displaying in Hubli, any idea which shed they came from? Where were they running when they were in operation?
Actually, they have come from, sir, Boti Bagh, sir, and Patatnagar. I think they have come from the places, sir.
Whether steam or diesel, any locomotive you have which can be made operational, or are they simply shells, empty shells? Is it possible to make any of them operational?
So we have made a team, sir, for making one steam loco operational in Mysuru. So we hope we'll do something on it, sir.
Because see, it's not a very good commentary on our country that we have something like over 300 steam locomotives available in the country, but only about 35 to 40 are operational. Now, I keep wondering how many of them we can actually make operational. With a person who's passionate about it like you, maybe we can think about it.
And we have discussed with our team, sir, and we are going to do something on it, sir.
There are a large number of very positive and good comments about your talk. We'll be recording them and we'll be sending them to you. Congratulations. It was very informative, especially the initiatives that you and your division, your railway has taken to build one brand new museum, restore an old one, and also create a museum based on a book, the Malgudi Museum. I don't think there is any such museum anywhere in the world. Where you have actually a fictional station, you have converted an actual station into a fictional station and built a museum around it.
Credit goes to Sir the then DRM of Mysore division, Sir, Aparna Madam, Sir. She had taken.
I think she's there online. Aparna, are you there?
I didn't see her name. Good morning to everyone. I am there, sir. Thank you so much. Yes.
Congratulations. I think the legacy that you built up is working, is going strong.
There was some shooting which had taken place there and we found it in a very dilapidated condition when we decided to take it up. And I'm so glad that Mishra sir is taking forward. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much. Right.
Thank you.
I would like to inform all participants today that Aparna Garg was the divisional railway manager of Mysore when the Mysore Museum, which had become a little dilapidated, was totally restored and brought to its present pristine condition. We need more people like that to build up museums. And even more important, we got to have some kind of institutional mechanism that this does not depend on one person, but gets renovated all by itself or gets sustained all by itself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prashant. I think we come to the end of your talk. We will send you the positive comments that which are on record.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Raghunandan, I just put in a comment. He says, there is also a dire need for India to collect and rebuild its railway history by systematic checking of archives across the world. There is a huge level of detail available abroad, which we do not have, particularly with respect to the period from 1853 to 1908.
Sir, I will just like to add on this, sir. Basically, first ever history of Southern Maratha Railway, I have been able to complete it, sir. And first ever comprehensive history of East Indian Railway from 1841 to 1861, collected from the original sources, sir, I have completed. And second part, I am working on 1861 to 1881. So it is a small fraction of Indian railway history, sir, but we are covering different railway, different periods, sir, and working in that direction.
Thank you, Prashant, and your team. Keep up the good work. I hope we have more people like you who can not only build and create new museums, but also sustain what already exists. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Jail sir, Apurva, we have about 6 minutes. Should I just start a small pick?
Yes, in fact, I was going to request that.
Yeah, okay. I'll just
we have about 5 to 6 minutes.
Yes, I'll do that. I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Apurva. This is just a collection of my photographs. They are not in any particular order. Jail sir, can you see the screen? You can see.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So basically, this is just something to fill time, but give you something to see. And this, of course, what you're seeing here is a very old image from 2005 or 2006. But the other photographs which you'll see after this will be one of the newer ones, which probably many of you have not seen. They are because of COVID, a lot of our rail fanning had stopped, but now we've restarted that. And these are the newer images. So I would like to give a small anecdote with each image so that you have a relevance to what I'm showing you. Not everything has, it doesn't make sense without the anecdote. So here is the Deccan Queen, while it had an ICF rake and it had regenerated Vista Dome coach from the Janshatabdi, which is Mumbai to Madgaon Janshatabdi. And they're just getting the train ready to start, and there is one guy, a helper, who has to put the tail lamp, and the guard is actually asking this guy to, because he had put it ulta, and that it's the rainy season, so he says no, you have to keep it so that you have to let the water, the rainwater shouldn't enter the lamp. So this is what he is showing, but he was very, very passionate. He put it in the right way, and this is a new guy. So he was getting a little overwhelmed by the fact that such a senior person is telling him how to do it. But this was that scene. This is the scene, Pune Junction in the morning. We have beautiful light coming from the east. We have the new Vista Dome coach for Deccan Queen on the left. Right-hand side is a just arrived rake of a train from Nagpur, and these people are following the national pastime of India, which is taking selfies on the mobile. This is the departure of Deccan Queen's Vista Dome from Pune. The morning departures from Pune towards Mumbai on Deccan Queen are usually full of hope. They have a very positive attitude, and they have a nice atmosphere to it, and everybody is going in with a lot of joy because we are going from a smaller city to bigger city. So this sort of captures the atmosphere that we have. This is one of the trains which has come in, and it's good. It's on the way to the washing sidings, but and again a mood of the morning at Pune Junction. This is on the way from a Vista Dome coach in the fog in the Bhor Ghats, and you can see how beautiful this is. On the left is the wall to arrest rocks which are falling onto the track. But this is how the Bhor Ghat looks. This is just past Monkey Hill. There is a small technical point in this particular slide, in the sense that this particular train, I'm on the track 3, which is the up track, dedicated track for the descending train. And in this track, you don't have to stop if you're below 1 speed. Normally, in the Bhor Ghats, you have 3 catch sidings in which a train must compulsorily stop. And in case you don't stop, you'll be sent up a catch siding. That means you don't have control on the brakes. But on this particular track, in case you go by a controlled speed, then you can actually cross without stopping. And this is the Deccan Queen crossing Monkey Hill cabin without stopping on the thing, and whereas the middle line has got a pair of banking locomotives which have to wait. Sir, time pe dhyan rakhiye. Let me know when it is.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, okay.
We have about 1 minute more.
All right, so the last slide. So this is the Deccan Queen loco. The point I'm trying to make is that in a place like Mumbai, once a loco comes in and waits at the dead end, it doesn't have a chance to escape. So once all the yard lines are clear and there is a slot, then this loco itself or some other loco will take the rake out, and then this loco can release. So it's one of the things which probably Howrah doesn't have, or Chennai. If a loco comes into the dead end, it can go out from a parallel track, but Mumbai doesn't have that luxury. Okay, sir. If you're out of time, we can start with the next session.
No, I think
one more. Okay.
Yeah, I think we can stop now.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Apurva.
Yes, sir.